We all know that affiliate is so exciting because it's so cost effective. There's a reason that even when affiliate marketing isn't the most exciting channel, it keeps growing year after year. It's because it delivers the revenue. Like, that's the straightforward answer.
You're listening to the Affiliate Marketing Podcast, brought to you by AffyVerseMedia.com, the chapter and verse of everything you need to know about running a successful affiliate program for your business. Now, here's your award-winning affiliate and performance marketing host, an industry veteran, your affiliate marketing guide, and the founder of Affyverse, Leanne Johnston.
Welcome back to the Affiliate Marketing Podcast. And this week, we're talking about a really important conversation that I think every brand needs to hear. You see, affiliate marketing is still largely misunderstood by C-suite executives, and in some cases, businesses with engaged CFOs who are watching the dollars, which is a small part of our story. Too many people still view it as a last-click solution or a one-off traffic driver. But the truth is, affiliate isn't about one moment. It's about every moment in your customer's journey, from the first touch discovery through to conversion and even beyond. Affiliates can play an important part in every stage of that customer funnel if you know how to harness it properly. And to do that, you need data. Real data, transparent, actionable, performance-led insights that can actually move the needle on your ROI. So today, I'm thrilled to welcome back a returning guest and longtime friend of the Affiliate Marketing Podcast, Michael Cole from Everflow.io. Michael's one of the sharpest minds in affiliate marketing and a big believer in the power of partnerships and tracking, and he's passionate about helping brands unlock the total value of their affiliate programs, not just enabling the easy wins. We're going to talk about how brands are missing out if they don't see affiliate as part of their wider customer acquisition and retention strategy, and why the right tracking setup can be the difference between an underperforming channel and a powerhouse of incremental growth for your business. Stick around to the end because we're also bringing out our hashtag Affiliate Wins Challenge. We want to hear your affiliate success stories and how you're building smart, scalable affiliate programs that can deliver long-term value. So let's get into it. Welcome back to this week's episode of the Affiliate Marketing Podcast with me, your host, Leanne Johnston. And joining me this week is none other than Michael Cole, the CMO of Everflow.io, our gracious sponsors for this season, which is really exciting. Now, Michael, we've had you on the podcast before, but for anybody that's never met you or never listened to you on any other podcast or fireside chats, because I know you do get around a lot, let's do a little quick introduction as to who you are, what you do, how you came into the industry, and then we'll crack on with the really exciting episode that we've got planned for everybody this week.
Cool, yeah. It's lovely to be here. Yes, for anyone who doesn't know me, I'm the head of marketing at Everflow. We're a partner marketing platform, so we have 1,200 plus customers. Last year, $5 billion which tracked through our system. So we have access to a ton of data to understand what's working, how the industry is growing, et cetera. And then my personal background was I got my start in the industry as an affiliate marketing agency. And we had the joy of launching these teeny little companies like Shopify and BigCommerce. So in the early days of affiliate marketing, it was fun to see it come full circle now where we're supporting other affiliate managers.
But also what a great journey. I mean, those aren't exactly small companies, although you played it down a little bit. Like anybody that's come into the industry, they'll know that those are like behemoths. So a lot of learnings to unpack from that too, because everybody always starts at the beginning of the cycle, but also when you work with really big companies, there's a different set of challenges that come from that too. So let's get started with the fair few programs that you spoke about. I mean, 5 billion being tracked through your platform is nothing to be snuffed at. What are some of the biggest missed opportunities that you're currently seeing brands making when it comes to tracking and measuring their affiliate performance? Because there's a lot of talk right now in the industry about attribution, a lot of talk about mixed media modeling, last click, first click, third party, first party. Can you just talk in basic terms for people that are listening to this podcast? What are some of the biggest opportunities that they might be missing out on that they're not looking at just yet?
Yeah, I think it boils down to two major things that affiliate managers are really missing out, whether it's brand or agency. It's just, we all know that affiliate is so exciting because it's so cost effective. There's a reason that even when affiliate marketing isn't the most exciting channel, it keeps growing year after year. It's because it delivers the revenue. That's the straightforward answer. But the thing is that it misses two pieces. One is that it's not just the moment of revenue. It's also all of the engagement, demand, and brand generation. And when you're an affiliate manager, like having stuff to talk about other than just, yes, we hit our revenue goals is super important. And there's so much story to tell with the sort of engagement and reach that you're achieving with affiliates. So that's one side, is like the missing story that comes before. And then the other side is once that purchase happens, once the lead is submitted, what happens to that user afterwards? Because that also tells a totally different story about how much extra value affiliate can layer on top of someone who becomes a customer versus, say, like a paid ad where they're just solving a need right away.
And that's really interesting because a lot of brands don't have that depth of data in their businesses just yet. They're working on an affiliate tracking software, or affiliate network, whichever platform they choose to go with. And very often, they're still working in silos compared to other digital marketing channels. And it's only when you bring all of this data together into a simplified dashboard that you can start to run the pre and post of what happens after the click converts, that you start to see what all of these like really cool impacts are. Now, you've got a lot of great customer examples. I mean, we can link people to the website to go and have a look at some of the case studies. But what's the one big sort of standout story that made you realize that affiliate is not just about one moment, it's about all the moments in the customer journey? Give us an example of how you've seen that materialize based on the data that you have in Everflow.
Yeah, our best example based on, we managed to take both the international and domestic performance marketing awards for it.
Yeah.
The case study between our agency partner, Vibrant Performance, and their company Unlock, which does like home equity financing, which is a very complicated product. There's a lot of money involved with there, but it's a great example of like where these events just help you as an affiliate manager sort of scale what is really working well and what's not. So they have a very like complex flow where it's basically from like account creation, submitting all your details, submitting all your paperwork, getting all your stuff approved, and then finally actually getting your $50,000, $100,000 equity thing. Like it's such a big number. And the thing is, that's so many steps where users can be lost. If they're not the right type of user for this type of offer, if their home doesn't have the right amount of value for it, there's a lot of things where it breaks. So one of the coolest things about how Vibrant Performance uses these events is that they will educate their affiliates on this. They'll be like, hey, affiliate, these 3 placements are driving users who are getting approved again and again. Can you please scale those? These 6 placements, they sound good on paper, but all the users are getting rejected on step 3. So this is a great example where you are saving your affiliates so much time. You're educating them on, especially with them, they're like, here's how the reporting looks. Here's how you can do this yourself. That's a lot of education towards the affiliate so that they know where to focus their time. Because again, affiliates are taking on the risk. They're putting in the effort. You need to set them up for success. And so it's just a great example. Because they educated their affiliates to focus on where the affiliate's going to make all their revenue, they create a win-win situation where that program in like the first year scaled 740%.
Wow.
As soon as they switched to Everflow, by being able to share all this data with their affiliates and set them up for success. And like, it just keeps growing. It's been, I think, like a year and a half afterwards. And like, they are just destroying it now. It's grown so much since we did that case study. That's
the one thing that I love about having this conversation is that we still have brands that are very secretive about what they want to share. That like they don't want to pay. They want to pay on performance, but they only want to pay for one type of transaction. Whereas this client is probably looking at all the data and helping their affiliates to actually monetize the traffic sources that they're bringing in a better way, which ultimately also, I would assume, and you can probably pull the numbers on this, has built customer loyalty with their affiliates. So there might be other suppliers that are doing a similar type of service or promotion or offer, but because the affiliates are getting this data, they've retained their partners a lot more and built loyalty and trust in the program itself. So it's not just about the sales and the increasing of the exponential growth of the program. It's also about the retention of those partners in the program, because let's face it, publishers are there to make money. Like, they're going to go where the money is. And as much as they love you as an affiliate manager, or maybe they love the product or the platform that you're in, it's not enough. They still need to make money. So digging into the data can be a little bit overwhelming. It can be a little bit time consuming as well. When do you suggest that clients start to get into these types of metrics? Is this from day one, the example that you gave us? So everybody should be doing this all the time? Or is it okay to launch and maybe 6 months after you've got a successful round of affiliates and partners into your program, then you can start digging into this data? I think there's probably levels to that as well. When you're first starting, you're probably not going to be heavily integrated with your paid media team or your SEO team. But what's your best practice guidance for leveraging the business intelligence that we can now access through tools like Everflow how should these brands be using it and when?
Yeah. So I'd say start simple. I mean, even with we run our own like referral program through Everflow. Yeah. So I've continued to expand out as we go along. But I think it benefits you to start with some sort of engagement event beforehand, because again, channels like influencer and publisher, anytime they're dropping, it's like top of funnel demand. So it's basically people that are in research mode, they've never heard about your product, are not thinking about, I really need to buy this today. That is an extremely valuable kind of person to get to your website, because these are future buyers, but they're not buying. So if it's just pure performance, it looks like it's doing nothing. So some sort of thing like, hey, did they check out my pricing page? Did they go out to like sort of my special like fashion deal sale for the season, et cetera? Some sort of page, and literally all it is, as soon as that user visits that page, fire off event, visited pricing, visit fashion. Like that's very easy to do, very low technical setup. All you do is place a tag on that page and you're done. So that at least one is worth doing for engagement, because you tell a very different story. And I think it's just so important for all affiliate managers to keep in mind that like our ability to tell stories to our bosses or our clients is so important, because otherwise it's just a line item of, did we make money? Yes. Okay. As soon as you tell a story of, hey, this is actually part of like our brand identity and our growth, that makes a big difference. So that's, again, the beginning engagement side is one thing. The other part is, I do think from day one, it's more complicated setup, but it's totally worth it, which is just tracking the customer past that purchase point. The either ways you do that is the easiest way is you can just say repeat purchases. It's very easy to track with things like Everflow, because we'll basically say like, whenever that user's email purchases again, we can attribute that back to the partners. Super simple setup, easy. And then if you have any sort of like subscriptions, things like that, I would recommend setting that from day one, because again, especially because I'm sure a lot of people I'm talking to are not starting off their affiliate program from scratch. These are people in the industry. And what's really cool is, even if you have a program, by tracking this like additional revenue and subscription revenue, when we look at our data, that's 30 to 70% more revenue being generated on top of the conversion data. And again, that could be, you don't even change your affiliate program, you just start tracking this extra data, and suddenly you've hit your goal for the year. And when you hit your goal for the year in affiliate marketing, like I think the biggest challenge we all have is not enough resources. Like you're like, okay, we already hit our goal. Can we add a person, and we're going to add this person to do X, Y, and Z? So many affiliate managers need an extra person, or they need an extra like consultant on the side supporting them. So like you hitting your revenue goals like really gives you more tools to actually do all the cool stuff in affiliate marketing that we never have time for. So I think that's the easiest way.
To be honest, you touched on something that's really like important, because a lot of younger affiliate managers coming into the industry, they are experts in what they do. Like they hyper focused on affiliate, but they often come up against older counterparts that aren't as experienced in the affiliate space, and then have to go and educate them. And you're right in what you're saying. Without the data and without actually tracking all the moments, not just the moment where the sale happens, you can't feed that data back internally and actually give a story. And I've literally sat in a boardroom where a media team has said, oh, our ad spend has impacted this. And I've had the data to say, well, actually, it wasn't your ad spend, because if you look at the customer journey, you look at when they purchased, it's too far past the dates of when your ad campaign was live. So therefore, it had to have come through on the affiliate on the last click. But you have to have that data in your business in order to have those stories. And you will come up against a CFO who doesn't really care about the story. They just want to know how many sales did we make. And you need to be able to have the conversation with a CMO. So somebody like yourself who understands the brand value, the incremental value of all of the different touch points, the fact that we still got opportunities to go and convert those customers later if they're not in the buying phase right now. All of those things add incremental value into the business as a whole. Why do you think affiliate is still treated as a siloed channel, when in fact it is not, as we know, and through the data that you see, it is touching all the different customer journey points, not just the awareness, consideration, and purchase, but also retention, loyalty, and incremental increases in revenue as well. Why do you think we're still treating this as a separate channel?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge that causes this is literally if you're working in one system and everyone else is working in a totally different analytics platform, it's always just an argument of whether you delivered any value, because you'll have your, usually like an affiliate network setup, you're running all your business there. The metrics look amazing there, but then that data is being fed into another analytics platform that has no idea about partnerships. This is a big challenge we have when we look at like the analytics platforms is because they don't have the granular data on who those partners are, they're actually pretty bad at understanding like the true impact of like affiliate and partnerships. That's the biggest thing is if you're VP of marketing and your director of marketing and your paid ad team and everyone else is looking at this analytics platform and you're looking at your network and you're trying to argue that you actually deliver like 40% of the value of the entire company, they're not going to believe you because they all have very conflicting things. So again, like this is where it's very important to be able to tell these picture stories of the success of the company, because ultimately what you want to do, and even if they mostly use their analytics platform because they're not going to learn something where they don't have to desperately learn it. Yeah. But if they're logging in to see some data insights that's very valuable to them when they talk to their bosses, and that they can then repeat what you just told them about the engagement and demand, et cetera, and now they're telling the CEO that, et cetera, that becomes really powerful. And then now they trust your data because it is what they are doing in their day-to-day. And the same thing like with paid media and stuff like this, if you have your media buyers logging in because you have performance data that they don't, that help them look better too, again, that changes the dynamic. So I think that will make the biggest difference is just the more we can break down these silos by making this data valuable to people outside of you and your day-to-day, the more you're elevated as very important to the company's success.
So for those of you that get to watch this clip, but if you don't, I've got my hands on top of one another, and affiliate has always sat on top of paid and social and SEO and everything else. And actually what you need to do is put your fingers together and clasp your hands together. That is really how affiliate needs to work in a business. And in order for that to happen, you need to have a really powerful analytics and data aggregation tool, which I think is something that Everflow does incredibly well. Because the next thing I'm going to say is, okay, so what happens if you're an affiliate program and you've got 2 or 3 different networks that are working on your program across different regions? Maybe you've got different products in different regions. Then you're adding a whole extra layer of confusion because you're not even just working out of one affiliate platform. Now you're working out of 3, for example. And then you have to tie all of that data back. So how does Everflow help brands kind of manage all of that big data?
Yeah, so I think the one thing is, again, this is kind of, so there's 2 parts to this. So one, Everflow allows you to actually track all those networks inside Everflow, so you can have everything unified within it. So we don't have to be like competitive with any of the affiliate networks. Like they can just be tracked like any other partner source or channel.
Yeah.
So I think that helps. We also have the integrations to bring in all of the paid ad channels into the same place. And then we can do the organic tracking. And like the organic tracking is a great example of, this is the other part of like affiliates really interesting, is just usually when you're doing affiliate, you're looking at data in a very different way than say how Google Analytics does it. Google Analytics is who is the audience reaching my website? And then Google somehow makes it more complicated to see that data every single year.
I'm reading a lot of articles at the moment that say that GA4 is under-reporting on affiliate.
The data gets really weird, and like sometimes data disappears. There's like a bunch of bot traffic. It is very strange because it's just, we always treat it as truth. It's an interesting point. Like we still track that too, just because it's another data point and it's good to look at that and to see the different pictures. The thing with Google Analytics is very audience oriented, and affiliate and performance marketing is very much who are the buyers? What do the buyers look like and what did the buyers do? And that's actually a really helpful reporting lens for even your VP of marketing, your CMO, et cetera, on top of what you're doing, because it looks at the data in a very different way and gives you very interesting insights that you can now share. Having all of these different channels in the same place, using the same sort of performance lens, actually really opens the door towards a lot of conversation. So I think that helps so much with, again, making sure that you're not a silo and you're actually delivering value that people can talk about internally. Because the more that they talk about the stuff you're telling them, the more you're elevated.
And the more they're going to be willing to help you. I always like to think of the affiliate team as the service providers to the rest of the digital channel. Mm-hmm. We're an acquisition source, but we're also service providers to the rest of the channels, because we can plug the gaps paid and search and everything else can't reach. And we can also amplify the things that they're doing as well at certain times if there's special promos and offers. So you really do need to be buddying up to everybody else in the digital marketing team and not actually sitting behind your desk going, I'm doing all this work and I can see what I'm doing, but nobody's really caring. That's in your head. You need to get out of your head and actually go and have conversations internally.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. But I think it is the hard thing. It's just like, we all know affiliate managers are so under-resourced. So again, like, that's why more revenue and quick wins is so important in our industry, because again, you had one more person doing the affiliate management, you would have so much more time to pull interesting insights to share to your bosses. So that's the first goal, is getting that extra piece of revenue.
Yeah, 100%. We've spoken about silos. We've spoken about how tracking is sometimes hard to measure, and sometimes we're looking at all the wrong things. We're not looking at all the moments. We're only looking at the last kind of click, the one that actually converts. As we shift towards a cookieless future and more complex buyer journeys, because that's the next thing, is a customer isn't just coming to your website through one or two touch points anymore. They're coming across multiple platforms, multiple devices. How do you know that it's time to upgrade your tech stack, and when to upgrade your tech stack? How do you compensate for all of these differences? Because I think I've read somewhere, and I can't remember where, but I'll look the stat up. There used to be something like a minimum of 6 touch points. Now there's something like 28. So how do you kind of like leverage all of that information and make business-driven decisions in your affiliate program if you don't have the data? You can't really.
Yeah, and it's very tricky because, like, on paper, yes, of course, just immediately upgrade everything, just spend all the money, you're set. But in reality, it's much harder because, again, anytime you're doing something new, you have to learn it, you have to educate your team, etc. So it's really about what are the smallest steps I can take, sort of have extra data. Best thing to do is also, like, whether it's Everflow, if there's an solution that's good for it, having an extra way to track your affiliate and getting comfortable with that helps a lot, because with a cookieless future, with everything else, like, that'll eventually come. It's been delayed more than people said, but there is already a lot of leakage happening, whether it's going to be just the third, like cookies just being blocked on like Safari or ad blockers just blocking some of your traffic, etc. There's already a lot of traffic leakage. If you're seeing in a second platform, like you're doing a test pilot, like a free trial, etc., and you're seeing that the same traffic that you're seeing in the network is not the same as with that platform, and you're seeing more in that platform, that's already the easiest win, because again, you're immediately getting that quick win of here's non-leak traffic. If you can look at a data point beyond the purchase to repeat customers, and you can start saying like why you get credit for that, because your publishers are delivering stuff that is a much higher user than other channels. Again, quick win. You're doing the same thing you're doing, but now you have more revenue report. That's the sort of thing where you do it. And then you go piece by piece into there. And then as you have these wins, now you have the ability to sort of be like, okay, extra resources, go to the next level. I keep going back to that, but I just know that this is really the challenge, is like, what is the fastest win, which is going to be like either reporting analytics or diversifying into a new type of partner that allows you to hit your revenue metrics faster, more time to play around with the things that will continue to deliver more revenue year after year.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. And sometimes the simplest advice is the best. Like, it doesn't have to be that difficult. We sometimes overthink it and make it too difficult. Okay, I want to talk a little bit about what are the early warning signs that your tech stack isn't actually serving you right now, because I think that's quite important for people that are maybe a little bit further on in the journey. When do you think is a good time to actually switch out or add in better or more robust tracking and reporting resources?
I mean, I'm biased, so right away would be the answer, is just do a free trial, see if it helps. Get like that quick win of just some extra data points on top of what you're already doing. I think the other side is just, if you're feeling underappreciated in your company, which is most affiliate managers, unfortunately, it is time to sort of see, how can you share something that surprises your boss? That is going to be the thing that is the easiest way to get more recognition within your company, because if it surprises them and it delights them and they can share it internally, that is a piece of power that really helps you sort of like get new opportunities. And I think it's here too, which is just, if you keep reporting your data and your boss is like, yep, add that to the spreadsheet, and then that's the only conversation, they're not asking questions about who these partners are. Like, how did you get in all these publications? Who are those publications? What review websites are we on? Like, all these things that are saying like, oh, I want to know what affiliate is. If you're not getting those conversations, then you really need to figure out like, what is one step I can take where I can suddenly get that? And I mean, that can just be things like top partners like Skimlinks, just having transparency into saying, did you know we're already running this campaign with Hearst and Yahoo and Condé Nast, etc. Again, you might have been running Skimlinks and been making boatloads of money for years, but as soon as you say the actual publications, it changes the perspective of what your manager is thinking about this channel. And again, now they brag to their superior too. It moves up the chain.
Short answer to that is, when you want to grow and when your current tech stack isn't servicing that or enabling, that's the time to start looking for something else that's a little bit more robust. We're coming to the end of this episode, but I want you to give one piece of advice that you think affiliate managers need to take away from them from this episode? Because we've alerted them now to the fact that they need to be thinking bigger, not just on last click and the actual sale, but all around that as well. So what's the one piece of advice that you want to give to affiliate managers today as we round off this episode?
Yeah, something that I think a lot of is around attribution. And attribution is such a messy and complicated thing.
It's almost like a buzzword now. Everybody wants to bring it up. It's all about attribution, but is it really?
So attribution's super tricky, and the people that build very complex attribution funnels with tons of tech stack, etc., they end up realizing they know nothing, because if everything gets 5% credit, you can't make any decisions about it. So what I would recommend for all affiliate managers to do is basically really simplify it for your team, which is just first touch attribution. So the first click gets credit no matter what happens afterwards. The thing there you should be talking about is this is about credit. Who do we want to get credit in this situation? Because we want to get as many users in the door as possible. So this is things like influencers and publishers, top of funnel demand. Again, as we were talking about before, people in research mode, they're discovering your brand for the first time, are so valuable, and you want to constantly get those in. And if those people purchase 2 weeks later, you want to ensure that those influencers and publications are getting credit for it. So I think you can simplify a lot of conversations, which is we use first touch attribution not because it's the perfect attribution, but because if I can throw a lot of money to an influencer who's driving users who are buying 2 weeks later, I want to do that as much as possible. That is really good for the brand. It's good for everyone. That is how I think credit should happen. I think it's a very simple concept, and you can tell that story through things like engagement events, etc. But at the end of the day, it's just very clear that these publications are the people that we want to be sending us more traffic. How do we enable that in a performance basis? That's where first touch attribution is like a clear path without overcomplicating it.
So do you think that affiliate needs to move from last touch to first touch? Is that what you're saying?
I think that it needs to be split between first touch and last touch, because there are many channels like coupons that have very strong buyer intent. If you're going to a coupon website, you're going there because you're about to buy. That's a perfect last touch situation. Like we know there's a lot of buyer intent. They don't need extra protection. They either buy or they don't buy. Yeah. So that's a great last touch. Influencers and content, those are people that tend to be in research mode without buyer intent yet, or like starting their buyer intent. They are probably not going to buy for a while. They really need first touch attribution.
Yeah. And how do you manage, because for people listening that are a little bit more new and not as technical, I understand what you're saying, but for everybody else that might not, how would you manage the commercials on that? Because for most businesses, both would be important metrics, but some businesses would value the last touch more than the first. Maybe in B2B SaaS, it would be the reverse because they want the person at the start of their review journey. So how would you manage the commercials for that, just to give some advice?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just you split your partners into two groups. You have their first touch ones, which are all of the like influencers, publishers, any media buyers, people that are taking on a ton of risk because they have to do all the costs there. Yeah. Any of these channels, like even if a media buyer didn't deliver, like there was 5 people involved afterwards, if they're spending for every like user that is buying from you, they need credit anyway. So influencers, publications, media buyers, all of these things, they should have priority of getting credit. So you just put in the bucket of first touch. Any sort of publisher that's very like high buyer intent, so like coupon, loyalty, promo, who are clicking on their link because you are there to buy that product, those should all be in the last touch attribution camp. You basically have 2 buckets and you split out your partners that way.
And you split the commercials as well. So maybe for a first touch partner, you want to pay on a cost per lead, and you know what that cost per lead is because you know what your conversion rates are from people that are showing intent to people that purchase. And on the last touch, you maybe want to do a percentage of whatever the sale is. And you can split that equally, as you said, between the different publisher types. So I hope that's helped people today, because that was quite a lot of information and it was heavy technical, but I think we managed to explain the do's, the don'ts, the whys and hows. And that's really why people are coming to this podcast to listen. We are talking about hashtag affiliate wins on this podcast because you and I both believe that the industry can only get better if we start sharing some of the good stories, some of the good things that people are doing behind the scenes. And that's not big flashy case studies. That's just small incremental changes, things that you're doing with partners. And we really want to hear what you guys are doing and sharing and testing in your programs around the world. So if you're listening to this podcast, hashtag affiliate wins on LinkedIn, on Facebook, Meta, wherever you hang out. We want to hear your stories. We are interested to hear what you are learning and sharing. And really, we want to build a community around what we're talking about on this podcast, which is that affiliate is not about one moment. It's about all the moments in your customer's journey. So, Michael, it's been a pleasure having you on the Affiliate Marketing Podcast today, and for reminding us all that affiliate isn't just about a channel, it's a strategy. A strategy that starts with visibility, continues with accountability, and scales into clarity. The insights that we've shared on this episode are very much centered around how tracking impacts performance, not just for marketers, but for the entire business unit. It's exactly the kind of story that our industry needs to hear right now. And to all of you, our listeners, if you've been inspired by what you heard here today, we want you to join the conversation. Tell us your good news affiliate stories. Help us change the narrative around affiliate marketing and share your biggest successes with affiliate marketing so far. Simply post on LinkedIn or any of the social media channels and use the hashtag affiliate wins. Whether you've cracked a new market, found an unexpected top publisher, or finally fixed your tracking stack, we want to spotlight the moments that truly matter. I'm Leanne Johnston, and I'll meet you next time right here on the Affiliate Marketing Podcast, where we continue to explore the power of partnerships, one win at a time. The Elevate Summit 2025 is here. Just join us on July 15th and 16th for the premier affiliate and digital marketing event this summer. This year, we're focusing on traffic, where innovation meets inspiration, and we're helping SME brands and affiliates to scale. Elevate is more than just another summit or affiliate conference. It's a transformative experience designed by industry veterans for those ready to embrace the future of performance marketing to grow their businesses. Connect with forward thinkers, affiliate pioneers, SaaS tools, and decision makers as you engage with cutting-edge strategies, immersive masterclasses, and strategic networking opportunities. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a budding SME entrepreneur, Elevate offers insights, tools, and connections to revolutionize your approach to bringing more sales into your business. Don't miss your chance to be a part of this dynamic community. Visit affiversemedia.com, click the Elevate button, and book your conference ticket to find out about our sponsorship and speaker opportunities today.